into that category. Youth is being served.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
Let's go! Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Smith on first down. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action. It's Smith. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Smith. He's going to take another shot here. And this one is incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
The Broncos send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the Sport. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early. And I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the carry, but they'll need to double that here. It's 3rd and 14.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That'll be caught by Shipley.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Here's Jones. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Now those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 27. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Hands it off out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Throwing is Smith. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Second and 20.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. In trouble, and he's taken down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Denver's offense ready to go again.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result. Oh, yeah.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. On 2nd and 9, Smith. Going to throw right side here, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here we go on 4th down. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running, because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the 1st down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Second and goal from inside the 5. Smith now to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11. Now Smith. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is indeed good, and that will make it 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get it behind the line twice in a row. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you across down to our studio here in Orlando and check in with the coach in our Sports Halftime Report.
First order of business, though. Let's get a look at next game in that first half. Denver, they had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there.
Okay, Coach, adjustments late into the play. Good roll in this third quarter. What's been a tight process so far. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Taken in at the 3 and taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are, and what I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You know, you just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Second down and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone. Back to throw, Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Looking left side, he's got it complete.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll look to throw here on first. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
That's complete to Shipley. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll look to throw here. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet.
And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Let's go, touchdowns, baby.
A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Extra point safely through, and that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Chicago offense set to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Jones on the return. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 63 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's taken down inside the 30. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, their offensive guy.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Broncos will extend their lead.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit, but for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that will bump the lead up to 26. That time a 6-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Nope, and this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
Here's Jones on the return.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
It's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation.